there were some, some incidents. Indiana Borough Police had to be involved, and thankfully nobody was injured. There was a shooting and another reported shooting, and I think those two incidents were illustrative of what Borough Police have to deal with when you have large-scale events like that. An actual shooting, a reported shooting, got to treat them both as if they are people shooting at people, and you had to that night.
Oh, absolutely. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about this a little bit. I haven't publicly spoke on that weekend, but that's something that I'm going to do as far as at the upcoming council meetings. I've provided a synopsis to Mayor Simelton, and I plan on giving that to the public and to council. Mm-hmm. So over the weekend, we at the Borough Police Department handled about 165 calls, which is probably on par with other weekends. We made 52 arrests. But really, I think the story of the weekend needs to not be Indiana Borough Police Department, but the entire effort, the public safety effort that went on with the Pennsylvania State Police, IUP Police Department, Indiana Borough Police, Indiana Fire Association, and Citizens Ambulance Service. Mm-hmm. And then even to expand it out further with all of our community stakeholders. There are approximately 80, I'd estimate about 80 stakeholders in a room at our IACT All Stakeholders meeting, which took place, I think, the Monday or Tuesday before that weekend. And really what that's, not that we talked about anything really specific at that meeting, but it certainly shows how many folks are committed to creating the safest possible environment for our residents and our students. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you candidly, I'm disappointed with the weekend that took place. I think it was the propensity for true danger was very, very high, not only for our community members, but for our police officers. And, we put together a sound public safety strategy, and we executed that strategy. But it really takes all of us, because when crowds are hundreds, if not thousands deep, it really creates a challenge. We operate daily on a public safety strategy here in Indiana Borough and in Indiana County. And, when those events take place that are filled with guests and alcohol consumption all day long and nice weather and outdoor parties, it really creates mm-hmm. an atmosphere. So, you referenced the shootings, and those are very real. I do believe 2 shootings occurred that weekend, or at least shots were fired at 2 locations. It's just a matter of us being able to put together the pieces in the area of Dollar General, in the 700 block of Locust Street, and 400 block of South 7th Street. So we had 1 shooting confirmed at School Street and South 7th Street area, and 1 that we believe did occur. Mm-hmm. But we're relying on other people for a large part of our investigations, and our criminal investigators have done a fantastic job. Our partners at the State Police, at IUP Police, the District Attorney's Office, the Sheriff's Department, fantastic job plugging in for us. But it took us all, and it probably requires, it requires more thought for next year, because what we don't want is to create a situation for everybody where the danger far exceeds the value. And what might seem innocent to some, it's logistically significant. It's creates dangers, and we'll have a chance to unpack all that with partners. I don't want to get too far in front of my skis, but as much as I appreciate the respect that was shown by all of our student residents towards the police department and all of our community members towards our public safety effort, there were some elements that clearly weren't interested in maintaining a safe event. And I'm not suggesting that that's our IUP students, because we don't have those things happen every weekend. So that should, be illustrative of not only the community we have, but also, when we have a large influx of folks who are here over the weekend, it creates its own challenges.
Yeah, those investigations will continue, and we'll continue to follow them as information becomes more public for us. One thing that I was impressed by was the fact that when you have situations like that, social media can add to the potential for danger. It can help police and other law enforcement in maybe easing some of the tensions. But that potential exists on both ends of the spectrum, and that becomes a part of of the whole elemental thing.
Well, it really does. I mean, social media is a tool, and it's like every other tool. It depends on how it's being used. We can wield it for a great deal of good, and it can be wielded for a great deal of bad, I guess, for lack of better terms. I mean, we can stoke fear with it, or we can increase comfort with it, and so everybody has access to it. So sometimes the conversations and the narratives and things get a little bit outside of our control, but I think it's got significant value, which is why at the police department we're trying very diligently to increase our presence so that we can be more engaging and engaged with what's going on, because it does possess valuable information. But at the same point in time, we can't, and I wouldn't suggest anybody or wouldn't want anybody to, be only solely focused on the content of social media, because many times it's not accurate. Mm-hmm. It's filled with emotion. It's not always the best emotion. It's not always the most prudent emotion. And so you're always going to get honest information from the police department. If there's an emergency, we're going to let you know. If there's a concern, we're going to let you know. If we have a need, we're going to let you know. If it's a great day, we're going to let you know. And hopefully we let you know of a lot more great days than situations that aren't great. But yeah, it's a tool, and it all depends on how we wield it.
Yeah. I mentioned investigations. Obviously, the investigation into that event and other events does continue to go on. Borough police, any police agency, is going to be involved in what we used to call white-collar crime and more violence-centered crime. There are all kinds of different categories of crime, and you have to be an investigator in all of them. Yeah. And they are pursued in different ways as well. There are several investigations ongoing now. There have been investigations in the past as well, as in terms of things that might be happening on paper, mm-hmm. As opposed to person-to-person confrontations. Yep. All of those investigations have to be handled correctly. I think that's what I'm getting at. And there are steps to take. We'll have District Attorney Bob Manzi on with us an hour from now. There are steps that have to be taken, meticulous steps, to ensure the integrity of an investigation and ultimately of a conviction if someone has done wrong.
That's right. Well, this gives me a great opportunity to highlight our criminal investigative division. So all patrol officers in Indiana Borough, everyone in uniform, we wear multiple hats. So, we're responding to an emergency call. We're doing some investigations on scene. But there's also a handoff that takes place, and there are also some investigations that take additional time, skill, knowledge, attention. And so we have a criminal investigative division. And so Detective Leroy Anderson and Detective Andrew Perry, they dedicate themselves full-time as much as possible to investigating what you're calling, white-collar crime, or, the investigations that require the time and attention. And really the reality for us and the reality for every police department is that, police officers are plugging in for folks in our community, generally speaking, at the worst moments of their life. Mm-hmm. And something has significantly impacted their well-being, peace, safety, and comfort. And that's where we start. And that's not a great place to start. And we're trying to seek positive impact in the community, and I hope that shows for the community members that the police department is, we're beyond reactive. We're proactive in all positive things. But, we really have to do these investigations well, because our community deserves it, because your family deserves it, because my family deserves it, because collectively the people that we love deserve to have investigations done well. And I have nothing but pride and great things to say about our criminal investigative division. We had a detective sergeant retire recently, Jeff Atherton. He did an admirable job leading that division, and even before I became chief, that division was excellent. So it's really a testament to the folks that are doing the hard work, and they're taking their time to do these investigations well and meticulously, because they all lead somewhere. And so at the end of the day, sometimes years from now, we have to have done things well last year. Yeah. And every step in between. And to their credit, they do excellent work. I'm always proud of it.
Speaking of their credit, over the weekend, they were hopping down the Bunny Trail on Philadelphia Street in downtown Indiana. And you had members of the IUP Volleyball team, other community members who were very helpful to make sure that, when events like that happen, especially when they have little children involved, they're not used to being out on a street like that. Yep. And maybe, you get a few steps away from mom and dad, a few steps ahead of them because you're so excited. Yep. really good to have volunteers like those turn out.
Oh my gosh, what a force multiplier for the good. I can't speak highly enough for the IUP volleyball team. We were helped by the IUP lacrosse team last year and IUP volleyball team last year with the trick-or-treat event. IUP athletics, they really, from the athletic director to the individual coaches, they plug into the community so well. They truly grasp the importance of volunteerism and how when we work together, truly, we can move some large obstacles. So this weekend saw a bunny trail event, and that bunny trail had, I'll say a conservative estimate, let's say 300 people in downtown. That's probably really conservative, but they're excited. And when you're excited, you're distracted. And like you said, you're a few steps ahead. You're skipping because you're smiling, and now we have traffic flowing, and they're distracted because it's like, hey, look at that set of bunny ears, or look at that cute child, or look at that large family walking. And these are things we want in our community. I want to live in a community where those things happen and we can have that excitement. But when you talk about a force multiplier for the good, then steps in the IUP volleyball team. And all these women took to the intersections, and they were in green vests, and they were giving, crosswalk safety tips to kids and just engaging. And, that's not something that the police department or any police department is geared to do, but it is something that we can work with our partners, and we can, have these things. So they worked with us. We had a conversation beforehand. They took to the intersections. We had a conversation after the fact. And it wasn't that we asked them to do anything that was, out of the usual. Just a quick talk with the kids, prepping them for traffic safety, look both ways, watch for traffic, make eye contact. And then they were seen themselves, because someone with a green vest catches attention.
Sure.
So, yeah, it was good all the way around. Credit to Sam Kenley, always from downtown Indiana, who does a fantastic job. But, we're happy to plug in those ways. And I think that creates the best of us, really.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we're going to enter into a new season of the year when people will be getting more outdoors.
Yes.
There will be a lot of folks. Thursday night events, of course, the Thursday night downtown Indiana events, the Thursdays, or third Thursdays, I should say. Those will be happening. Other outdoor events as the weather gets nicer and nicer. Folks always need to be on the lookout and making sure. We've got kids in downtown Indiana, high school kids going around town today for the Soft Skills Challenge. Always have to be vigilant, don't you?
You really do. It's a vibrant community. We want it to be a vibrant community. We want people downtown, but we have to be patient. We have to, look both ways. We have to report suspicious activity. We have to go slow. We have to recognize that, when we get in a rush, when we lose track of the dangers that exist, that's where we run into trouble. But this is special event season. I mean, you could make a claim that Indiana Borough has special events all year round, but really from April to November, this is our special event season. And so I would just anticipate when you're coming through downtown Indiana that you expect people to be here, expect it to be a vibrant community, expect the police to be visible, expect to, be stopped if you're engaged in some type of a dangerous traffic safety situation, but our pedestrians also. It takes everybody. Make sure you're looking both ways before you cross the street. Don't assume somebody sees you. And, we'll talk more about those tips throughout the year, but I really think giving yourselves time to get through town, giving yourselves patience, watching out for each other, best path for success. And then the police department, like I said, we'll investigate everything really well, but I'd rather prevent it all from happening.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right. Good visit this morning.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Looking forward to your report before Indiana Borough Council. That's next week?
I might give it tonight, actually, if
Tonight.
there's time. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. I wasn't aware of the schedule yet, but terrific stuff. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
He's Indiana Borough Police Chief Justin Schawl with us here this morning on the Voice of Indiana County, WCCS, 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com. So we're 3 minutes away from 9 o'clock Fox News coming your way then, and then it is a visit from either Josh or Matt. I have Josh out on assignment somewhere. I can't remember where. But one of them will be with us right after the news from Fox.
At GCES, we make planning your financial future simple, smart, and stress-free.
From 401ks and retirement planning to investments, annuities, and life insurance, our advisors help build a plan designed around you.
We're honored to be voted Best Financial Planner and Best Customer Service by the Best of Indiana County for 3 years in a row, and we couldn't have done it without you. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Because your future deserves more than numbers, it deserves guidance, purpose, and peace of mind.
GCES, bringing you health, wealth, and happiness.
Investment advisory services offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. In this, Best of Indiana County is not affiliated with Galen Bargerstock or Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC. The Best Financial Planner was based upon voting 416 through 430 by bestofindianacounty.com 2023, 2024, 2025. No compensation was paid. Rankings do not guarantee future results or constitute an endorsement of Foundations.
Planning ahead shows how much you care. At the Leftall Funeral Home, they understand that making funeral arrangements in advance can ease the emotional and financial burden on your loved ones during difficult times. Since 1999, the John A. Leftall Funeral Home has been Indiana County's premier choice for funeral services, and pre-planning makes it easier on everyone. The compassionate team at the Leftall Funeral Home will help you make informed decisions, ensuring your funeral wishes are honored exactly as you had envisioned them. To learn more, call the Leftall Funeral Home today at 724-463-4499. That's 724-463-4499. Or visit them online at leftallfuneralhome.com to learn how simple pre-planning can give your family the gift of peace of mind. The John A. Leftall Funeral Home, for over 25 years, serving Indiana County with dignity, compassion, and excellence.
Spring is here, and it's time to refresh your home. Join the Indiana Spring Home Show, presented by the Indiana Armstrong Builders Association, April 17th through the 19th at the S&T Bank Arena. Meet local pros, explore the latest in kitchens, windows, outdoor living, and more, all in one place. Whether you're planning a remodel or just looking for inspiration, this is the event you don't want to miss. Visit indianahomeshow.com for details. The Spring Home Show. Get to know a pro.
You're listening to the voice of Indiana County, WCCS, Homer City, Indiana.
WCCS.
A whole civilization will die tonight. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump just posted that on Truth Social, adding never to be brought back again, as his deadline for Iran to stop blocking oil and other shipping in the Strait of Hormuz is down to 11 hours. Fox's Alexandria Hoff reads more of that post from the White House.
I do not want that to happen, but it probably will. However, now that we have complete and total regime change where different, smarter, and less radicalized minds prevail, maybe something revolutionarily wonderful can happen. Who knows? We will find out tonight, one of the most important moments in the long and complex history of the world. 47 years of extortion, corruption, and death will finally end.
Unless there's some sort of a deal before the deadline, the president says.
We have a plan, because of the power of our military, where every bridge in Iran will be decimated.
And he also warns that the U.S. military will bomb every power plant in Iran, prompting state media there to call out for all young people, athletes and artists, professors and students to form a human chain around the power plants. Ahead of that threatened bombardment, other bombing.
Fox News can confirm overnight the United States hit dozens of targets on Iran's Karg Island. This is the island responsible for more than 90% of Iran's oil exports. Fox's Jennifer Griffin says the targets included bunkers, radar stations, and ammunition storage.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv. Oil prices rising again this morning, up about 3%. Gas also a couple of cents higher. AAA's national average for regular at $4.14 a gallon. Diesel $5.64. The Artemis II crew is resting after a record day in space.
From all of us, it's a privilege to witness you carrying the fire past our farthest reach.
That's NASA Mission Control after the 4 astronauts traveled farther from Earth than anyone ever as they did a fly around the far side of the moon, and they'll return on Friday, splashing down off the California coast. America's listening to Fox News.
31 in Indiana. Good morning. I'm Josh Whittison on WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com. 9:02 on this 7th day of April 2026. High school students from across the Erin Intermediate Unit are headed out to businesses in downtown Indiana over the next few days as part of the Soft Skills Challenge. The event is an opportunity for students to learn workplace skills like proper conduct, teamwork, and other areas, according to Kate Mansour, curriculum specialist with the Armstrong Indiana Intermediate Unit.
For example, at the 700 shop, Josh and Dawn have a wonderful challenge cooked up where they ask students to create an outfit that might be appropriate for a job interview. And it's not the outfit that Josh and Dawn are scoring on, of course. It's, did they work together? Did they communicate?
Over the next 3 days, over 400 students will hit the streets and visit over 30 businesses to complete their challenge. WCCS News Time 9:03. News brought to you by Indiana Regional Medical Center. Better health, better life.
Are you uninsured or do you not have enough health insurance? What you do have is options and pathways to better health. On Wednesday, April 22nd, from 2 to 6 p.m., IRMC's experts will walk you through your Medicaid and other financial options, including medication assistance programs. This is a free opportunity to sit down with the IRMC team. You should bring your last 2 pay stubs, proof of other income, or your 1040 tax return if you're self-employed, your checking or savings balances, and medical bills paid or unpaid from the last 3 months. The Armstrong Indiana Clarion Drug and Alcohol Commission will also be on hand with information on behavioral health resources. Pathways to Better Health will be held in front of the future home of IRMC Primary Care in the Regency Mall Complex using the IRMC Mountains Mobile Health Unit. Call 724-427-2763 to register. Clear away the financial confusion. Pathways to Better Health from IRMC. Better health, better life.
WCCS News Time 9:04. A downtown Homer City business has announced its closure due to the uncertainty of the traffic increase in the area from the Homer City renovation project. Gilbert Woodley, owner of Wave Rider Sweet Shop, has announced that while he has tried to come up with a solution to help with the predicted increase in vehicular traffic while still having the ability for their customers to park close to their store, he has not yet received an approved solution. Without a firm plan in place, he feels he would not be able to sell enough to keep the business going. So he announced the last day at the latest is April 24th. The business opened in late October of 2022. A pickup truck caught fire along one of Indiana's major thoroughfares yesterday. Indiana Fire Association was dispatched at 12:33 p.m. to Route 422 between the 119 on-ramp and the 286 off-ramp. Fire officials said the truck owner noticed something wasn't right, so he pulled over onto the side of the road and took a look at what was going on when the vehicle caught fire. Crews were able to knock the fire down fast, but an explosion was reported in connection with the incident that was due to a propane cylinder on board. The explosion did give firefighters a scare, but there were no injuries reported. The truck was a total loss and had to be towed. State police in Westmoreland County are investigating a scam case out of Derry Township where the victim lost close to $1,000. That incident was reported Monday. Troopers claimed a 76-year-old Derry man was called by someone claiming to be with Direct Energy and said that he was delinquent in his electric bill and they threatened to shut off power if payment was not made immediately. The victim was then emailed 2 pre-made temporary barcodes and was instructed to go to the nearest Dollar General to make a payment. The barcodes were scanned at 2 different stores in Derry Township, and the suspect received $981. While the investigation is continuing, troopers remind people legitimate companies will never call from blocked numbers, send suspicious text messages or emails, or instruct you to or ask you to buy a gift card to make a payment. WCCS News Time 9:07. AccuWeather forecast is next.
Enjoy the freedom of independent pharmacy at Diamond Drugs. As the only indie pharmacy left in downtown Indiana, we set ourselves apart from the chain stores with a friendly, comfy approach to pharmacy care in a charming storefront setting that hasn't changed much in 56 years. Enjoy free off-street parking, free next-day delivery, dispill medication packaging, online refills, boutique gifts and decor, and the get-to-know-you service from our pharmacists and staff. Choose a community pharmacy experience over a corporate one at Diamond Drugs, Indiana, where we care about care.
Indiana County weather.
101.1 FM and AM 1160 WCCS. Weather.
Here's your AccuWeather forecast. Good morning. We can expect a breezy morning with a snow shower transitioning to colder temperatures as clouds clear for sunshine today. The high will reach 40 degrees. Tonight will be clear and cold with a low of 22. Tomorrow is looking mostly sunny with a high of 55. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg for your hometown radio station.
31 in Indiana. In our news at 9:30, gas prices remain above the $4 a gallon mark after a significant jump recorded last week. Take WCCS wherever you go by listening online. Click the Listen Live link at WCCSradio.com. Brought to you by Indiana Regional Medical Center, Community Living and Learning, and the Flower and Balloon Gallery. I'm Josh Whittison for WCCS. 9:08, time for Sports in a Minute, brought to you by Indiana Regional Medical Center. Better health, better life. Here's Todd Marino.
WCCS Sports in a Minute.
Pirates last night, a 5-0 loss to the Padres. They'll try them again tonight, game 2 of this series, as Paul Skeens takes the mound against Nick Pivetta. Good pitching matchup there. Airtime is 6:15 here on WCCS. Altoona looking for win number 1 on the year as they take on Richmond tonight. Curve have started 0-3. Penguins Monday off, back on the ice today at PPG Paints Arena for practice. It's picture day, team picture day. Penguins Ricard Raquel, 7 goals last week. Monday was named the NHL's first star of the week. Pens play the Devils on Thursday. Steelers